leading the revolution of talk radio. Lynn Cullen.
All right, we are back. Joanne is playing a video game. Well, it's not a video game. It's freerice.com. Have you ever done that? Go to freerice, R-I-C-E, freerice.com. And Joanne's going to the bathroom. Thank you, Joanne. And you can actually play this definition word game. And every time you get a correct answer, 20 grains of rice go to the United Nations food bank of some sort. Hard to imagine how they keep track of this, but they said they have donated, just billions.
There's a list you can go to. One of those tabs at the top shows you how many grains of,
Here it is. Totals. Wow.
It's a lot of grains of rice.
Total for, this is the total just for, since its inception. 34,305,139,070 grains of rice since October 7 of 07. That's going to feed some people, huh?
Yeah.
And I guess the guy who set this up, this works.
And they're nice advertisements because they're for this. It includes the name of the company, the sponsor, but it focuses on the fact of feeding people, hungry people.
Okay. How do I get back to my
Home.
I guess I have to start over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, now
But I'm starting over. So it says,
you have to play first.
okay, so autonomy means, okay, got it. And then it
So
says
there, yeah.
Okay, Unilever, Together for Child Vitality, sponsors pay for your donated rice. I see.
Yeah.
So that's neat.
It is nice.
That really is. Okay. Well, now that Joanne's not here, shall we talk about her? Let's talk about her.
She's looking lovely.
Yes, she is. She's something.
She's wonderful.
She's she's having to do a lot of stuff because of Fred.
Yeah.
A lot. And keeps her busy. Oh, that's good. So Kid is wearing an Obama 08 t-shirt here.
Woo! Yeah, I like Heather, your trigger point person. She came in and...
Don't say that. Don't politicize Heather.
I'm sorry.
And
she likes pink.
So, do you think Hillary is? Did you know that? You get stuff from women who are Hillary supporters because you're
Yes.
walking around. You do,
Yeah.
And you have an Obama bumper sticker on too.
I do.
Are you getting trouble from some people like you work with at university or stuff? What are you
Not
getting?
trouble, but I'm surprised by the strength of some women's feelings about how she's getting ripped off. That this was her turn, and
So you do
it's
hear
not
that
fair.
a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
this
you're-
real sense of it's not fair.
Right, you're surprised by that too.
I am.
And you're confused by it.
Yeah.
I am too.
I mean, the victory is that she's in the fight and she's losing fair and square. I mean, that's the glory of it. Nobody's giving her a buy on this because she's a woman. She's losing fair and
But a
square.
lot of her supporters, and her husband was doing it again this weekend, are suggesting that it's not fair, that she's being subjected to things that other candidates are not. We're talking about
Well,
the anger of some Hillary Clinton supporters.
I think that's
Joanne,
true.
have you bumped into that too? I mean, I don't even know if you are a Hillary supporter, or an Obama supporter, but
I haven't bumped into that.
you haven't.
No, I really at the moment feel out of it because I just haven't been in. I've been away from the political.
Yeah, you just you're
scene
not.
for a while.
Well, you're a healthier woman for it. But I've been saying, and I have been for the last few weeks, just astonished at the depth of feeling of rage and I don't know what else to call it. That evidenced
find, yeah.
by some of Hillary Clinton's supporters, women who are just beyond anger. And these are the ones who will say with absolutely no equivocation, I will not vote for Barack Obama.
Yes,
as if he somehow took something from her that was hers. And
right.
I'm mixed
That's
up
the part
about
I don't
it.
understand. I do think it's true that she's had to put up with a lot of
Garbage.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because she's a woman. That's absolutely true.
Right.
McCain has had to put up with stuff, and so has Obama. I mean, that is part of
They're all
playing
dealing
this
with
game.
stuff,
Yeah.
right?
And
But-
it's not fair that she has to put up with that, but it's not fair that they have to put up with it. It just is.
Yeah, it's not fair that Barack Obama has all this
Right.
racism.
That's right.
Yes, and I think racism comes into that with the Hillary supporters.
Do you?
I do. I do feel that a lot of people have who. Well, a woman's okay, but no, I'm not. I wouldn't go for the.
Oh, so you are hearing that?
I've heard. Well, yeah, I heard some of that just on television.
Oh, okay.
But
Well, some of those voters in West Virginia that they had
Just flat out.
interviewed were, it was appalling.
yes, West Virginia, I guess, has been just about the worst with
Yeah.
that.
But so,
Bringing it
is
right
there
out
is
of
there
the open.
concern, Kit, because you're such a steadfast Obama supporter, that he's not going to be able to prevail in a general election?
No, I'm not concerned.
You're really not.
I'm really not. No.
I think there are.
Well, you think all these racist people will just? I'm not. We're not talking about Hillary supporters here now. You think
know.
all? So my sense is in November we'll find out if there's more people who. We'll find out. I'm not saying everybody who votes for McCain is a racist
Right,
either, but
that's
we'll
right.
get there should be some sense if a whole bunch of people who would otherwise vote Democrat, a whole bunch of people who have said they think the country's on the wrong path and blah, blah, blah. And they want a Democrat in the White House because a lot of them say, I want a Democrat in the White House, a huge percentage. But then Barack Obama doesn't get their vote. What do you make of that?
Well, that hasn't happened yet. So.
It hasn't, and I do believe that it's the people in the minority. I think it's a minority
I do too.
feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're definitely out there, but I don't
Yes.
think it's the majority.
No, I don't either.
You think we're crazy?
I don't know. I think there's a lot of denial
Yeah.
about the depth of this problem.
Yes, I think that I'm not denying it.
Because it's not just out and out, racist. It is people who you adore and love and work with, and it'd be shocked to know that in the privacy of their booth, they're not just
That's
ain't
right.
able. And some of them don't even quite know what it is. You'll hear, "I'm just not comfortable with
Yes,
him,"
yes.
or "I don't know what he really stands for,"
or there's something. He's a Muslim, they say.
Well, those
And-
are the idiots.
Yes, but there are a lot of idiots out there.
Yes,
Yeah.
there are. There are a lot of idiots.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who simply don't have a clue.
Yes,
Yeah.
He's a Muslim with this horrible Christian minister.
yes,
Duh.
yes. I
Duh.
I don't think people have been tough enough with that minister to tell him to keep his.
Well, I
mouth
think he
shut.
finally is. Somebody did Muslim.
Somebody must have,
you haven't heard boo
No.
since his one grand day in the sun.
It would please me to think he would himself have.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I got to get a break in. When I come back, do you mind talking about your reactions to Hillary Clinton's remarks invoking the assassination of Robert Kennedy?
Nope.
I didn't hear it. That's where I'm out of it. It's just about that long during that period of time, and in 2 days something can happen that. And I didn't hear her exact.
Well, we'll give them to you,
All
her
right.
exact. Okay. 412-333-1360. Lynn Cullen with you, along with my friends Joanne Rogers and Kit Ayers. It's AM News Talk 1360. All right, we have spoken amongst ourselves and decided we will not talk about Hillary Clinton. We have.
Yeah, it's a vacation day.
Yeah, I won't. I don't want to either.
Yeah.
The problem is I don't have anything to talk about.
Well, here, this whole Sex and the City thing.
I hate it. I don't even want
I know.
it.
But
Did
let me
you-
just.
I never liked the program
I didn't
that
either.
much.
I never got it. Why was everybody so into that program?
I don't know.
Girls, call up and tell
Now,
us why.
is the, what I call him is Mike Logan, because he's in Law and Order.
Right.
Is he in
Mr.
the movie?
Big, yes.
Is
yeah.
he?
Yeah,
What's
she
his
marries
name?
him finally.
Mr.
It's called
Big.
Mr. Big in the.
Oh,
She finally marries him. I
what's
guess
his
in the
real
movie.
name?
Chris Noth.
Chris Noth.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Well, there was a story in the paper this weekend that seemed to suggest that it was unusual for women to have long-term group friendships. And I thought, well, that's not true.
I was
What?
reading something
Yeah.
that said that it was really they were really Pittsburgh women in this,
Oh,
in
is
this
that right?
movie. Yeah, I
Uh-huh.
mean they're Pittsburgh-esque.
What? What do you mean?
Pittsburgh, I don't know exactly. I don't know what they meant. But I thought, well, that would make me curious enough to go and see it.
Nah. If you
No.
didn't like this, the TV show, why would you go see this movie?
I don't know. I'll have to read what Barbara has to. Barbara
Is Barbara reviewing
Barbara
it? Is this
Vancheri
reviewed?
yes, and I almost always agree with her.
Well,
many-
I'll tell you what. I'll look at the punchline. What she says.
Okay. Is she
Well, I don't
reviewing
know.
the movie, or is that just about there's so much fuss and to do about the movie
Yes,
coming out.
yes.
I haven't even seen a review of the movie
Okay, so maybe
itself.
I don't think this is a review.
It isn't?
I don't think.
I think it's about the movie rather than.
Oh, okay.
It's just all
reviewing
this
it.
hoopla heading into it. I just don't get it. I mean, I don't get it.
I don't either.
And who the heck would ever say that women don't have sustained relationships? I mean, that's one of the things that sets women apart.
Right.
That we
Yes.
do.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't get that.
I know I've had friends over the years who've been really worried about their husbands.
Because they don't have
didn't-
friends.
Didn't have friends.
Right. It's not
You know?
unusual.
Because women do.
Right.
you
Right.
know.
Right.
Almost always.
And it's one of the reasons I say that women who are widowed do better than men who
Yes.
end up alone, because
Yes.
women have these support networks
Yes.
of friends, and men don't as
No.
often. I mean, there are men, of course, who do, but not a lot.
No.
They don't establish friendships like women do.
No.
Jordan does. My younger son.
Fred did.
Yeah.
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 But that was different, you know. Wasn't really. He really did have
Well, he was different
good
too.
men friends that
Yeah.
that he liked very
Uh-huh.
much.
But I don't know. All right. What the heck are we going to talk about? Well, see, if we can't do Sex in the City, and I'm not into that. I'm not into it. I can't do it. Anything else we're supposed to be into lately?
Oh, you know what I was watching last night because of Rob Owens talking about it in the thing.
Oh, I watched
the
the-
Meerkat Manor.
Did you?
Oh, you are kidding.
I've never seen it before.
I
It's
haven't.
and those little animals are so darling.
They are, and people really get into them. Isn't
And
it?
yeah,
no,
I've
they're
never
really
watched it.
they're filming a real, I guess,
They
meerkat.
showed the beginning of
colony
it,
or
you know.
something, and
one of them, the
one everybody
the matriarch,
loved was
one of
killed.
Was killed by
Well,
a
how
cobra.
how do you tell them apart enough to know their names?
Oh, I don't know, because they all looked alike to me.
Do you know what I watched last night?
What?
That recount.
Oh, how was that?
The movie.
You're bound and determined to do political talk this
No,
morning.
no. But it was
No.
it was the movie about the recount in 2000.
Yes. It was on television.
Yeah, it's on
I
HBO.
didn't know that.
Well, you can
Okay.
get it. I'm sure.
Yeah.
On demand. But I found myself not wanting to watch. It was
it's
because
tiring.
it was well done, but on the
You
other
knew how it was
hand,
gonna turn out.
I knew how it was going to
Yeah.
turn out,
Yeah, it's like
and I knew I wasn't going to like the way it turned
watching the
out.
Titanic.
And it made me crazy. It made me crazy watching. It was like, why do I want to revisit this awful
Yes, that was
Awful.
an awful time.
experience? So I sort of watched it till the bitter end, but why, I don't know. The only sort of relief in it was Laura Dern playing Catherine Harris. She was just a riot. It was wonderful, right on the money. Wonderful. Hey, we have a lady caller, Cynthia,
Hi,
North
how are
Side.
you all?
Hiya. Hi.
I've really enjoyed the show today.
Thank you.
But my first wonderful experience this morning, I was out about 7 walking, and I saw a house. I guess the Marine is home. I didn't knock on the door, of course, but his big pictures of him all over the house, and then a big sign, "Welcome home to our Marine." So that was a wonderful way to start the day.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then listening to your show, you just made me laugh. And Lynn, I have to agree with you when you talked about widow, when somebody is no longer in a couple or becomes a widow. Women don't want you around because you're single. It happens.
Yes, it does.
And
with young widows, but not with older widows.
well, I hope I don't have to find that out, but that's going to take me to my next story. I was talking to, Lynn, you also talked about, you and Sally were talking about you don't get together as much as you used to. I have a friend, and I've had friends for years. I don't make new friends. I don't want any new friends. I have my
it's
same
like
old
it's
friends.
like you don't have room.
But I was talking to her one day, and my husband is ill. And this is just us. There's not a whole listening audience listening to this so I can share. And and it was one of my bad days. And she said, "Well, look at the bright side. If you become a widow again, we can hang out like we used to."
Oh, jeez.
And we both went, "Oh!" And then we both busted out laughing.
Laughing, I bet.
And I said, "We still go out." She said, "Not like we used to." But Lynn, he's more like a woman in that regard. He's got his friends that call. I mean, this has always been the case. They're on the phone gossiping like women are supposed
Huh,
to.
wow.
Oh, yeah, they're going places.
That's
they're,
great.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
good.
So he's the way I'm supposed to be. But I've really enjoyed the show today.
Hey, thank you. Hey, you got a cold?
Oh, I've been sick for 2 weeks, and I just, who knows what this is. Worn down, I guess, stress, who knows.
It's probably allergies. They've been very, very bad.
I don't have them.
Oh.
No, it's been a cold or something.
Well, listen, I hope your husband gets better.
Well, we pray for the best. We walk in faith. That's all you can do.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Cynthia. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Now, she is one of our most political of callers, so for her not, and she's enjoying it, then yeah, we should steer clear of the politics. But someone give us a call and get us onto another subject. I sort of feel out of it, too, because I was away over the weekend, and I really didn't tune in like I usually
even like
would.
if you're away, I was out of it on and off for about 10 days because I was down in North Carolina to visit my roommate whose husband died, who's a widow now, and she's but I was down there, and then I came back and then went away again. Mm-hmm. So I really have felt.
It's interesting because after I left yesterday, I know my mom was having 2 other widows over for dinner, and I called after I got back to Pittsburgh and asked how her dinner went. And she said, "Oh, they loved it. It was very nice." And then she said, "But it's so boring." And I said, "Why?" She said, "Well, they just talk about people all the time." I said, "You mean they gossip?" And she
Yeah.
said, "Yeah." And my mother's not
Right.
quite
Yes.
into that as much.
Yes.
She likes more substantive conversation.
Yes.
So she's a little, I think, bored by some of the company of widows in which she now finds herself.
Well, I was interested because rather soon after Fred died, a long-standing friends of mine, a husband and wife, called and invited me to go to a play at the downtown at the Pittsburgh Playhouse, at the Pittsburgh Theater. And we went, and we had dinner beforehand, and went to the play, and it was just as comfortable as could be. I mean, and it was the first time I really had been out to do anything. I went sound asleep in the play.
Did you?
Yes.
I hope you didn't snore. Did
I
anybody
hope
tell you
not
to snore?
to. I hope not to. I tried to, but
And what do you
that would happen to me a lot.
What, that you just would?
I would just get so sleepy and might be in the middle of something and go off to sleep.
Do you think it was because you were
I think
exhausted?
Yes.
You were just totally exhausted.
Yeah, I think so.
And somehow relaxed?
Yes.
I mean, was
yes.
having the friends with
I
you
think
was,
so.
Yeah.
I think so. I was.
My mom says she's exhausted all the time, too.
Yeah.
Well, I think it catches up to you, after somebody
when you
dies
know,
and you can't
exactly.
do anymore. It's
Because I remember, the first few days just wandering around the house, and I'd look, and it was 3:00 in the morning, and I would say, "Wow, I ought to go to bed," and then I'd think, "Oh, that's all right. You don't have to get up in the morning."
How odd. How.
So it was strange feeling.
This must be so hard.
More strange. It was,
discombobulating.
Yes, yes.
Tough.
On a lighter note, I had a visit to the facilities a few minutes ago, and as I was ending my facility.
Oh, jeez!
I was
Between
thinking,
you and Wigan,
I know.
Unbelievable.
It's that southern frankness,
What
I
is
think.
that?
It's Fred always said conversations always end with elimination.
All right, so yes, as
But
you were
anyway,
ending your...
I was thinking about our times together.
About who? Oh, our
About
times.
our times together as the girlfriends' times. And one day we got on the subject of toilet paper. Do you
We did.
remember
About
that?
yes, right.
That's one of the things I tell people. We speak about very important things.
Yes, we do. That toilet
Whether-
paper subject can get you into an hour-long... that can easily.
Whether the toilet paper should come
We agree.
this way.
It goes over.
over.
It goes over.
It goes over.
We
No
did agree.
question about it.
There is absolutely no question it goes over.
And I am so compulsive that if I'm someplace where it's going under,
You
I
change it.
I do the same thing.
Oh, my
Yeah.
gosh.
I thought it was worth bringing up.
Well, thank you very much. I am so appreciative. It is Lynn Cullen with her girlfriends, Joanne Rogers and Kit Ayers. And we've got to take a mid-break. And when we come back, we have a gentleman caller.
Ooh.
Okay? We'll be back. All right, we're back. Too bad we're not on television right now. Joanne has just been treating us to some wonderful moves. Okay, we have our gentleman here. It'd be Clarence in Canonsburg. Hi,
Hi,
Clarence.
Clarence.
Hello.
Hello.
It's great to know that Mrs. Roger Pete. So that's something I learned.
He
today.
said it's great to know Mrs. Rogers P.
You see people on television, you don't imagine them going to staff.
I got news for you. She does more than that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But anyway, talking about men and their friendships, I grew up in a neighborhood where, you have your boys, those are your boys you always grown up with.
Yeah.
And it's really
That's wonderful. There aren't. That's real small town beauty.
Yeah, but everybody has their
I
boy.
know.
Yeah,
I suppose. But
Okay.
Yeah, and Canonsburg's a great small town because you always run into people you went
He's
to
in
high school with,
Canonsburg,
and
right,
you get to
yeah.
meet their
Right.
children and all that
Right.
stuff. But my boys that I grew up with, I never hang around with very often anymore.
And
I
why?
think we've grown apart.
Uh-huh.
The ones that I probably would hang out with, who are more, they've grown up and they have grown up conversations as opposed to what we used to do in high school and how we used to play sports and all that kind of stuff. They've moved away.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? So, if I run into one of my boys who are still around here, so Clarence, what you doing? I'm not much, I'm working and, this, that, and the other thing. Oh, where do you hang out at? Where do you go out at? Well, I don't really go out that much. Oh, really? Oh, you should stop down this bar or that bar, this club, and this is where I hang out. I don't really feel like it. I don't like the loud music anymore. I'm a boring adult now. but Lynn, a couple of my new boys.
Yeah, I know you got new boys, and I know some of them.
Yeah, and those are the kind of guys that like to, sit around, discuss politics and social issues, and have a laugh here and there. And
You're a boring adult.
I'm a boring adult. But here's what's interesting. When I go through their houses, if they, like, hey, I'm having a Super Bowl party or we're going to watch the Penguins, I'm always the one in the kitchen with the women having conversations as they're watching sports because I'm not a sports fan. So that's always funny, too. But it was just another interesting thing about men with single guys as friends. My friends are all confident, with their wives and things, and I'm always the single guy running around.
I wouldn't. I think they might be, I don't know about you.
But dude, come on. Like, Sissy White Liberal has anything to worry about with me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Or, and I hate to say this name, Morpheus has anything to worry about with me, And then there's my friend Jeff is recently divorced. But, I've known him since high school. They have nothing to worry about with me, So I'm always hanging out, Where was I? I was at a party one time, and I'm sitting with the grandmas at this party. There's a big old pig roast, and I'm discussing cake recipes. I'm discussing cake recipes with grandmas. But yeah, the whole thing with male friends is, I think a lot of that with guys is that the woman always is there to support the man, but most more or less generally speaking, and then the friends of the women are there to support the women, to support each other. Yeah. That's why I think after a death or something like that, women tend to survive better than men because men lose their support.
Yeah,
because they usually depend on the woman for the support.
That's right.
Yeah, and the women have the friends.
They're truly bereft in every way.
Yeah.
All righty. Hey, Clarence, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. On that light note.
Yeah. Go bake a cake. Goodbye.
I'm actually baking bread right now, believe it or not.
Are you really?
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, just real quick, I got finally, after years, my mother passed away like in 1990, and we could not find her bread recipe. We found a cousin who had it.
Oh, great.
I haven't gotten it right yet, but I'm getting close.
Good. Keep working at it. That's wonderful.
Okay.
Bye, Clarence.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Here's Keith in East.
Wonderful.
He is. Keith in East McKeesport. Hi.
Hi, Lynn. How's everybody doing today?
I think we're okay.
Great. It's nice to have you men calling in.
Well, yeah, I have a lot. Well, I have some male friends, but me personally, I think I have more female friends. I don't know if the female gene in me, it seems more prevalent a little bit, but I seem to get along better with females than men. I mean, I still do have men friends, but I enjoy talking to females more and getting to know them better. And I have the ones I do know, they trust me a lot. So
That's wonderful. I think that's great. I really like men. When I grew up in an all-woman family, sort of, and but when I had my children, I had two boys. So I learned a lot about sports and things that I wouldn't have learned if I hadn't had those two boys growing up. And I learned that I like little boys very much. That little boys, in comparison to little girls, have a lot of advantages, I think. I mean, they're very open, generally.
You think more open than little girls?
Yes, and they don't pout. They get angry and they let you know it, and then they don't hold a grudge.
Oops.
Generally, and I through having two boys, I've gotten very comfortable with men, I think.
Okay, well that's great.
And so I like men, and he likes women.
Yes, Keith.
Yeah.
What?
Hey, I write poetry, and I wrote one the other day, and I want to see if you ladies, if this makes any sense if you wouldn't mind me reading it real quick. It's not real long.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Love is the only eternal force. There are no boundaries, no starts, no stops, no age limits, no time limits, no preconceived notions of man-made conceptions, no greater emotion that is in all of us, no rules or regulations we humans do not understand. Love is an open book that too many shut.
Very
That's
nice.
very nice.
Very, very nice.
Thank you for sharing that.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me on.
Thank you, Keith.
Okay.
Bye.
Nice to talk with you.
Bye.
Bye. He likes women and he
Writes
writes
poetry.
poetry.
And cooks.
Did he say cook too?
Wasn't he the baker?
Oh, that's
No,
Clarence.
that's
No, that
Clarence.
was the other one.
Oh, one man.
You get all
other
your men
I
mixed
mean,
up,
you know, it's just
Joanne.
men.
They're all the same.
And I was wondering, would Fred agree with you about the generalization you made about boys and girls?
No, probably not.
Probably not.
No, because I think that is a generalization. But I've talked to lots of mothers, and they
generally
pretty
say that
much
boys are
agree.
easier.
Yeah, yeah. In some ways, they are. I think.
Less complicated.
Well, everybody sitting here just has sons.
We all
so-
have
That's
sons.
right.
That's
We
right.
have
We don't
nothing
have
to-
girls, so who are we to
Nothing
talk?
to. Yeah.
Right. Here's Becky on the north side. Hi, Becky.
Hi. I just want to tell you, I just love the show today. And I guess when I was younger, I had all these deep, thoughtful, insightful friends. We were saving the world. We were always so, just so that Jackie Kennedy type of voice where, you just didn't want to get into too much trouble, though we always did. And as I've gotten older, I tell you what, I just love the sassy, saucy, not afraid to get into an argument now and then, laugh till your eyeballs. I mean, and I just as I've gotten older, I said I'm getting like my mother. She was in her 70s and she was hang gliding. She never gave a crap
Oh,
about
that's
what people
wonderful.
thought. But you know what? You guys are so cool. You remind me so much of my friends. And I have totally eliminated deep, insightful, thoughtful friends who, I do the politic thing, but I'm talking about the ones who are, every time you have something controversial, well, do we really want to go there? Always playing nicey. I just...
That's boring.
Yeah. Well.
To me, there is nothing worse. I mean, if I need the nicey, I'll go see a psychiatrist. But I'll tell you what, the friends, you guys, it just sounds great. Like you can just sit around and have a big beer and just put your feet up, and I love it. And as I get older, I'm just right now I'm the opposite of Clarence. God love you, Clarence. But the laughter, as you get older, you really realize the sun does rise and set tomorrow anyhow.
Yeah.
And the ability to laugh your head off is probably the best thing in the world. And I was telling a friend of mine the other day, she says, every time I want to bring up something that's nice, you don't want to hear it. And I said, what do you mean by nice? And I was just thinking about you guys not wanting to talk about Hillary for a minute now. We'll leave it alone. But that kind of conversation, anything controversial would have put her over the roof. But,
Yeah.
but as I get older, I just appreciate it and just keep laughing. I just enjoy it.
I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm with you, Becky. Thank you.
You're sweet to call, and I'm glad you're with us today.
Yeah. No, there's nothing like laughter.
That's right. It really is supposed to be healthy in many, many ways.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
It's sort of like the relaxerciser in that seriously.
Gives you a shock?
Yeah. You can, your muscles, if you think about it, when you're laughing, your
That's
stomach
right.
muscles are contracting. Do you know that?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
better than doing sit-ups.
Your food gets
Digested
Yes,
or something? I mean,
yes.
this is good.
Yes.
All right, ladies, I have one more break to take in this here program. And then we'll come back and we'll have like about 10 minutes. And I hope some other nice people call us up.
I hope so, too.
Thank you very much. 412-333-1360. I'm Lynn Cullen along with my friends Joanne Rogers and Kid Ayers. And it's AM News Talk 1360. All right, we are back, and we got 10 minutes left, ladies, and we have a gentleman caller from New York State.
Woo.
Love it. I think we do. Oh, no. He's still talking to, I can't get him. He's still talking to Matt.
I didn't know you got New York State here.
Well, because some people listen you can listen on the internet. And so I have a regular caller from Singapore.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh, wow.
Well, for some reason, the gentleman caller apparently only wants to talk to Matt. He's talking to Matt. Well, what's that about? Oh, okay.
It's getting the address for the
Steve,
relaxer
what were you
site.
guys talking about for so long?
They became friends.
Steve,
Hello.
what were you talking to Matt about for forever?
Oh, well, I don't know. I was asking him about podcasts. I was asking him if he could post them any quicker, I guess.
Oh, you were complaining,
and I
in
told
other
him
words.
that on the website there's no call-in information.
Oh. There's no, what do you mean, call?
The call-in number is not on the website.
Well, that doesn't make much sense now, does it?
No, I'm calling from Vestal, New York, near Binghamton.
Oh, how nice. That's lovely country.
Oh, it is. Thanks. And
Yeah.
I just wanted to tell you, this is just, I feel like a thorn among the roses, but this has been such an enjoyable show. I'm rebuilding my house. So I'm doing a lot of framing on the inside here today, and it's just, it was a wonderful program. Just a lot of funny things, and that, what do you call the thigh relaxer?
Excuse me, that would be the
Wish I had one of
relax.
those. I could use it for nailing in studs.
So to speak.
The relaxicizer. Thank you very much.
Boy, I wanted to express some gratitude and appreciation to Mrs. Rogers for Mr. Rogers. I have 3 daughters, 25, 21, and 17, and they, we all grew up with Mr. Rogers. I remember him from the Josie Carey days myself. 'cause
Oh,
I'm
my
from Pittsburgh.
goodness.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh, sure. I don't know if you remember Johnny Costa used to be on a program with you, and he dressed up like an Indian.
Of
smoking a
course,
cigar.
Indian Mary.
Yes, Indian Mary, and that was Mr. Winkle, I think. I don't know if you recall those
Mr. Winkle?
shows or not, but they were so much fun. But my girls loved Mr.
Are you
Rogers.
thinking, excuse me?
Still remember all the operas that he did.
Oh yes, they had Well, I'm glad you're neighbors.
Hey, I want to go back to Mr. Winkle. Are you sure you're not thinking of Winky Dink?
No, Winky Dink was before my time, I think.
Oh, rub it in.
Oh, Lynn, not much before my time. I mean, I was right on the cusp of Winky Dink.
Winky Dink and me, Winky Dink and you. You don't remember that, huh?
I do remember it, actually.
Always
Jack
having
Barry. Do you remember Jack Barry?
Yes.
He was the guy. He was the creative force behind Winky Dink. And
Was he really?
He was on the Joker's Wild, and he was notorious for the 21 game show scandal.
Oh, yeah. He was. You're right.
Yeah,
Oh.
so he was the creator of Winky Dink. I do remember it. I was just joking.
Winky Dink was like the first interactive television show.
Yes, it was.
you
could
put
put
a
a
sc-
piece of
you put
film
a-
on the
You put a
on
piece
the
of
TV.
film, right, on the television, and then you'd like make a little bridge for Winky Dink to get over.
Oh, how clever!
It was real weird. It was wonderful.
So how many families ruined their television sets? It's using
Well, I'll
crayon?
tell you what happened is you would fight. You would fight like mad to be the person who got the little
course.
thing to.
Yeah.
Right. It got ugly. Somebody is saying Sterling Yates. Who's that?
Oh yeah,
Oh, Sterling Yates was in the-
Mr. Winkle.
Was he Mr. Winkle?
Yeah.
Who the hell is Mr.
I don't know. I don't even know.
When there was a countdown for Santa Claus, and he would have a rocket ship that would take all the kids' letters up to the North Pole.
Oh.
And every day was a countdown. Mr. Winkle was was collecting all the letters. I'm glad I didn't send him money.
I thought for a minute that he might have been one of Reg Cordick's characters.
Boy, you might be right, because Bob Troe. Hey, actually, I want
Bob
to tell you
Troe.
something.
Bob Troe was a genius.
He was. I found a bunch of podcasts of the old Reg Cordick show,
Oh, wow.
and they're hilarious. They are hilarious. If you have a chance to, in fact, Lynn, I can send you a link later on if you.
Okay.
They are extremely funny and very creative, and Bob Troe was he had a number of different characters that he played on
did
there.
he ever? He was hilarious, very, very funny, and of course he went on then to be on the Neighborhood of Make Believe.
Oh, Bob Dog. and
Yes, Bob
Robert
Dog.
Troll.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that whole show was just full of creative people. What an environment to be around. You know, it's
Absolutely.
And my kids, like I was telling you about those operas, they love them. The only problem is, would they ever put those out on video at some time?
They should, and I think they will.
Yeah, because they are just too valuable and too precious.
They are. They're wonderful.
Yeah, Lynn, did you ever see one of those?
No, I haven't
With-
seen the opera.
With expressions like all in the laundry, and
What do you mean, all in the laundry?
well, that's what was the name of the opera.
Well,
The
there was
name of
one
the
that was
opera
called
was-
Star for Kitty and
Star for Kitty,
Trouble in Bubble Land.
Trouble in Bubble Land. Yes.
and Fred
And
wrote
he
all
used
these
to have
operas.
he used to have
He and
an opera
Johnny.
star
Yeah.
whose name was John Reardon.
John Reardon was a fabulous singer, and he was at Rollins College with us.
You knew him too as a
We
student.
knew him from college days,
Oh boy!
and
You know, I contacted Mr. Reardon about 20 years ago when I was living in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
yes, and that's where he went to Santa Fe.
Yes, and he was down in Albuquerque giving a show, and I called him just to say, you know, I really appreciate your talent that you bring to that show.
He had a fabulous voice, and he did work at the New York Opera and the Metropolitan, and he was considered America's finest singing actor.
Best singing actor?
Singing actor.
What
because
about
he-
Nelson
such a-
Eddy?
Well, he wasn't in films.
Oh,
This was on stage.
on stage.
Yeah.
Well,
He
what
was
about,
very, very good at acting.
Okay.
Joanne, do you know how many of those operas that Mr. Rogers made?
There are about 8, maybe more. I should know. I'm sorry.
It would be just, someday I'll have grandchildren, I hope. So,
And you know, the kids just love it. They love the operas.
oh yes,
So-
yes, they still remember the songs from them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, like the Star for Kitty.
Go ahead, give us a few bars. Come on.
There's always let's see.
Come on.
I can't even think of one except Daniel's one about the star being a star.
Go ahead, give it.
I can't think how it goes.
Come on, why don't you come on, break into song here.
A star that looks just right. Wish that I could be like me, or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
Very, very nice.
well. Thank you, Stephen.
Put me
New
on
York
the spot.
State.
If I would have had time, I would have thought of a few bars of this stuff. There's always trouble in Bubble Land.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Steve, we're out of time.
Okay,
You
thanks a
go
lot.
back to your work.
Steve,
All
it's
right.
been grand.
Thank
Okay,
you for
bye.
your call.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Isn't that something? Gosh. Well, we're really pretty much done. We just got about a minute, girls. Thank you, as usual, for making this day so much fun for me and and easy. Can you imagine me sitting here trying to get people to talk about politics? Thank you. Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
We saved you from politics.
Yes, and
For a
somebody
day.
invite Joanne to a barbecue. Are you
No,
the one who
Sally.
didn't?
Sally
that was
needs-
Sally
yeah.
who didn't.
Sally.
But she's working.
And
Sally,
I
you're
really
invited.
started to say to her, just be glad you don't have to go to one.
You old stick in the mud.
Yes, it's true.
All right.
It's
Hey,
true.
my thanks to Joanne Rogers. My thanks to Sally Wiggin, who had joined us earlier. My thanks to Pat Jennings, who had joined us for a bit. And to, of course, the senior assistant to the provost of the University of Pittsburgh, Kit.
And our thanks
Ayers.
right back to you.
Well, thank you. Right back to you.
Right.
That's your Texas accent. Just come
Don't
out.
say Texas.
Well, since Fred gets to have these urban legends, she should get one too.
It's
Yes,
Florida.
Yeah.
Well, it's what drew her to Fred, the tattoos on his biceps, and the fact that he had 25 kills to his name.
Right.
Right. I mean,
And he was drawn to the tattoos that she wears on her behind.
Kit. All right, we're getting out of here. Stay tuned for a little bit of news and then a little bit of Tom Hartman, and I'll be back tomorrow, and it'll be a regular, ordinary kind of a day. Yeah.